We welcome you to Hammond Student Center here for the final 14U game of the day between the HFC Warriors and Dallas HSAA. Getting set here, we welcome you on YouTube. My name's Joel Foreman along with Colin Hill. We covered these two teams yesterday, and those were the Division II teams, if you will. These are your 14U Division I teams. Getting set and ready, and we are off, and the Warriors will control the tip to begin the game. This is number 23, Darian Davis, and he will dump it off to number 32, Judge Hugh. Back to Davis. Davis will put the shot up, and no good. A scramble for the ball, nearly out of bounds, but Davis somehow comes up with it. Here's a three, in and out, and rebound by number 1, Sam Frazier. He is their all-conference player. Very good player for Dallas HSAA. We will say his name a lot. Driving inside, and he is fouled. That is number 24 for Dallas HSAA, Braden Pitts. So the first of two for Braden Pitts coming up right here. Several dribbles. Up and through. Nothing but net. Braden Pitts is definitely one of their more scoring options. And a full court press, but somehow, some way, he comes up with it. Out to number 20.
Come back down, answer the three, but that may not have been the best shot for them.
Gavin Murray.
Yeah, quick timeout for Dallas. After scoring the first basket, they give up back-to-back shots. And not how they wanted to start this game.
So once again, we are getting set. You are watching our YouTube live coverage of the NCHBC.
Yeah, not
tournament.
the NCAA.
I was almost about to say NCAA again. So
yeah, 4:29 to go. Good start for Dallas. Good start for Dallas, but they've missed a couple in a row, and then giving up two baskets to the Warriors, down by 3 points. So they're going to need to strengthen up their defense and not turn the ball over. I mean, I know that's cliche, straight good defense and don't turn the ball over, but that's how you win games. If you're turning the ball over and giving up points, you're not going to win many games.
this is number 24, Levi, but I can't pronounce that last name.
And now a turnover, they're able to take over.
Belthrop, that's the last name.
That was a tough turnaround. He gets the
turnaround jump shot by number 44, who we don't have on our roster. That is Dallas HSAA to have the ball. This is Sam Frazier bringing it up the court. This is Caden Badula bringing it up the floor. He'll pass it up
That's how you do it. The 1, 2, and up. You know, in warm-ups, you always call it 1 and up from the three-point line. Very rarely do you actually get to do that, but he did there and he made it.
Aaron Davis with the ball, now he loses it. Padula comes up with it. Driving down the court, gives it off, and rejected at the rim is number 5, Carson Veal.
Now, I know you like to see this as a coach, but I actually think Dallas is overdoing it. They're collapsing too much on the drive, and what it's doing is it's leaving them vulnerable on offensive rebounds. And you know, it's enough to just challenge with one person at the rim. You don't need all 3 of them to come over there. It kind of becomes a problem whenever you got everybody going.
Darion Davis. Looking for some spacing. This is number 44. Put up by Sam Frazier. And came up with it. That was number 24, Levi Nelson. I can't, I was Olsen somebody. I apologize for my... That rebound will go to Jalen Davis. Now this is Frazier bringing it up the floor. Good 3 by Sam Frazier, brings them down with just 1. And now I like this defensive set here, Colin. Defense so far from HSAA. Lead that should be nobody call it watching.
You have to really in very good position. There, just kind of got caught.
Shane Davis called for his first person. At the line is Darion Davis for HFC. Starting by the bench. And extends the HFC lead out to 3. With Sam Frazier bringing it up the floor. Give it right back as they tried to throw an pass. It just wasn't able to do it.
It was a good feel. He just got a little bit too rushed last time to get rid of
Somebody to throw it to.
Yeah, he shoveled his feet.
An obvious travel there by Lathan Bastille. So this is the assist, Judah Hill with the bucket. Sam Frazier bringing it up the floor. He's guarded heavily by LaFon Bastille. HFC leads Dallas HSAA. What did you like from that first half, Colin?
I like that HFC wasn't trying to force anything. They kept going inside whenever it was open, and a lot of times that just turnaround layup shot wasn't there. And so what they did was, instead of panicking and just forcing up a crazy mid-range fall-away jump shot with a little jump hook mixed in there, they just kicked it right back out. And an open three-point shot, they make some, they miss some, but they're using the inside game to open up the outside. Whether or not they actually take the shot, there's still a threat from inside, and that has helped them. The problem for HSAA is they haven't gotten good looks. There is a man-to-man pressure defense by the Warriors, at least that's what they played in the first quarter. And, you know, if Dallas can't figure out a way to score some points off a man-to-man pressure, then they're going to have trouble going forward in this game.
Very true. HFC into inbound. You are watching YouTube live coverage of the National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. And to inbound, this is Caden Padula. Padula will bring it up the floor. I really would like to see HFC stolen. This is Sam Frazier.
He made the bucket.
Oh, he made the bucket. I couldn't see as I was reading the name. Sam Frazier. Not going to get it, and the mid-range floater goes for number 24, Braden
Nobody boxed him out. He was wide open to race into the lane.
You've got to shut down him on the interior, that's for sure. Sam Frazier will bring it up the floor.
He's got to find the lane.
Shot, not able to go.
He's trying to get a foul called, and it's not going to work, especially with
Bedulia. Now Frazier, remember Frazier is their all-conference player. He's going to get a majority of the touches. Give it out of number 44. Great floater though.
That was a good move. That's what they need. They need more looks like that.
Fuller for HFC. He'll give it off. Looking for it. Forward, back. Coach shot. Blocked. Deshaun Davis. Frazier comes away with the rebound. Out. Here's an open three. That's good.
I tell you what, whenever Pitts is actually looking to score the basketball, he's one of the best shooters on the floor. The problem is too often he's been looking to draw foul. Trying to get fouled. Well, they can't give up that. You've got to be able to go around that defensive rebound.
But it's stolen by Frazier.
Wow.
Fast break. Here we go. Block shot.
He fell away on that shot. And he kept going in. He would have gotten the foul or the basket.
Foul, and it nearly went in for Gavin Murray.
And that allowed the shot to be blocked. He kept going. Straight up the rim. Number one, he probably would have made the shot. Number two, there's a good chance that it's just one foul. And you know, there's times where players shy away from the contact, and that seems like it's what and whenever they're not looking for contact, they're trying to avoid contact at all costs. They need to find a happy medium where they're going to get some shot calls and get some kicks for Gavin Murray.
Gavin Murray's got one, two on his first hit. She won for two. And he does. Good stroke from Gavin Murray. Here's Sam Frazier bringing it up the floor for Dallas HSAA. Ball and possession to Dallas HSAA.
Dallas needs to score here. They're down 9. You don't want to get to the point where you're down double digits, because that's just not a good feeling whenever you're down by more than 9.
Here is HSAA. He's going to throw it in. Frazier, step back. Oh my. That was a beautiful shot fake. Davis comes up with it, and a foul. No, they will
he traveled. He fell to the floor after grabbing the rebound.
It's one thing, you got to keep your balance in basketball, or else they'll call that travel. I didn't think he had full possession of the basketball when he went down. Number two, Noah
Digit lead. That's going to be tough.
Here's Terrion Davis. Tried to push it in, but it gets poked away, and we might have another jump ball situation. And
a foul.
We have a foul on
Dallas.
HSAA, I believe. They're going to get
14. Or rather, number 13, Jalen Davis.
And that's good for number 14, Drew Warren. Great inbounds pass.
This is a tough game is what it's been, as it's been just a difficult time for Dallas, not only offensively but defensively. They don't match up size-wise
Here's
with
a
HFC.
long three, no. And Frazier gets the rebound, but then it's poked away into the hands of Noah Kent, who gets bumped and fouled.
Foul's going to go against Pitts. Dallas just needs to keep playing solid defense. At some point, some shots are going to start falling, but if they get down by much more, it's going to be a much more difficult comeback whenever you're down by 5, 6 possessions.
And losing control of it was number 23, Terrion Davis.
Yeah, good defense. He had it poked out of there.
Terrion Davis, I forgot the D. 26-15. And HFC loses the ball. That'll go to Dallas.
Hey, at some point, if you keep defending the inbound pass well, you're going to get a turnover, which is what happened. Now just capitalize and score some points.
Set to check back in is Caden Padula.
Yeah, Kieran Padula has had a good game. A lot of passes have gone well.
So Frazier will pass it up to number 22, Lethan Bastille. And the ball got loose, and it'll go back to HSAA.
Yeah, he just dribbled it off his knee. You got to be able to shake it off.
So, Padula will have the ball. He'll bring it up the floor.
Yeah, Kieran Padula needs to get an open shot. And whether it's him taking it or just finding somebody to get open, he's been a good passer today and a good instigator for their offense.
This is number 23, Terrion Davis with the ball. Looking to throw. He gets it in to number 22. Puts up the float shot. No good. That was Gavin Murray, and it'll go back to Dallas at HSAA.
Dallas needs to make sure that this is a single-digit game whenever we go into halftime. If you go into halftime and the lead is single digits, it's a lot better. You're feeling a lot better than if it's in double digits. And even though it may only be a 1-point difference, this ball's blocked out of bounds. Even though it may only be a 1-point difference, you are still, the feeling is better. Mentally, you're in a better place if you're not down double digits.
So set to inbound again. They do get it in, and it's rejected hard. That's number 22, Gavin Murray, who said no thank you.
Well, you know, it wasn't a bad shot. That was a perfect shot. And had he shot faked it, Murray's going to get caught in the air. Murray timed his jump, and there was no way they were going to get it over his hand.
This is Padula. He'll dump it off to Davis. Back to Padula. Shot fake, puts it up. Can't get to go. Offensive rebound, though. And this is Hill. And back to Padula. And
Nice
poked
steal
away
there.
and stolen. This is number 22, Lethan Bastille. Defense catches up, puts up a wild shot, can't finish. Offensive rebound,
And he stepped out of bounds.
Couldn't keep that left foot in bounds as he came down with the rebound.
They've looked a lot better, though. Padula needs to let this one roll.
Yeah,
All right, 10 seconds. I'm looking for Padula to drive and kick.
yeah. Here's Caden Padula looking for something with 3, with 2, with 1, puts it up, rejected, and he'll have to shoot it, and he couldn't get it off in time. And it nearly goes in. It wouldn't have counted anyway.
At the end of one, 26-15, you know, Kieran Padula, great drive there to end that half. Just wasn't able to put it in. But again, a great drive. We'll be back with the second half in a second.
And we welcome you back to Hammond Student Center for the second half of this 14U game between HFC Warriors and Dallas HSAA. What do you think of that first half, Colin?
Well, to start off, Dallas was not very good on the offensive side of the ball. Weren't scoring. They didn't end up scoring a lot of points, but they got a lot better looks toward the end. And that came whenever they were driving inside and not just looking for fouls whenever they drove inside. Whenever they drove inside and were actually trying to score the basketball. And then also their defense stepped it up towards the end of that first half. It was 26-15 with about 2.5 minutes left in that quarter. And even though they didn't score any, they didn't lose any ground either. That's a big plus for them heading into the second half. They got to be able to get a stop on this first possession.
Warriors set the inbound. Winner of this game will play the Wolverines out of Houston. We covered them earlier. They got a win against Memphis and the two brothers. This is Davis. Darion Davis will drive, gives it off to Padula. And Padula thought about the three, didn't take it. Now this is Jude Hill, and back to Davis, back to Padula. I really like this offense that they're going with right here, trying to get it slow and methodical, and that you can't do. Nearly lost it.
Yeah, again, good defense.
Three, Padula.
Man, Kieran Padula, that's an undefensible shot. You know, you don't want to go out that far because then he's going to drive past you. He's got the skill set, and Pitts has got to be able to watch out. He doesn't want to get a push-off or an offensive foul call, and I think he stepped out of
bounds.
Pitts having a tough time in this game. I'd like to see them give it to Frazier a little bit more whenever they're running offensive sets.
Davis, a fadeaway, gets his own rebound and gets fouled.
Yeah, bumped and fouled on that second attempt, and they're going to give it to Karsten.
To Darion Davis for the line. 2 shots here. His first is up and perfect. So it's a big lead here for HFC. His second is also good.
Yeah, big trip to the free throw line. They've upped this lead already by 5 points to start the second half. Now defense is the key the rest of the way for the Warriors.
So Sam Frazier brings it up the floor. Now he dump it off to his teammate, who gets blocked and fouled.
That's finally they've gone inside, haven't shied away from the contact, but also haven't just been going in with the sole intention to draw a foul. And that works. That will get you to the free throw line, and it will also net you a whole lot more makes in the process. They've just got to keep going and keep playing hard and keep driving to the basket without trying just to get a foul.
The first of 2 free throws for Carson Toller goes. And Toller, we haven't really said his name a whole lot, but he's really had a good game so far. Not really on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball, he's come up with a couple steals. His second one is absolutely perfect. This is number 32, Jude Hill, bringing it up the floor.
Key is stop and score. Stop and score for HSAA.
Davis, back to Hill. And he falls. He traveled.
Yeah, he just hit the ball straight into his gut. And he lost his footing and fell.
And my bad, that's not Jude Hill, that is Carson Veal that traveled. That's Frazier. He'll give it off. And once again, this is great movement by Dallas HSAA. Driving inside, scooping and not scoring. That was Carson Toller. He needs to do more of that though.
You know, that time it would have been better to pass. That's going to be a foul.
He'll go to the line for 3.
Hit him in the hand as he let it go. And so another foul, 3 free throws, and you know you appreciate the closeout, but there comes a point where you got to make sure that you don't go that extra mile don't even give the referee a chance to call that a foul.
So here's the first of 3, and it goes for Jude Hill.
If he knocks the ball down, it'll bring it back to, let's see, a 15-point game. No, it's 15 right now. It'd be a 17-point game if he could make them all.
And he can't. So it'll either be a 15 or 16-point game, depending on this free throw. Very rarely will you see, or at least since I've watched basketball, when someone goes to the line for a 4-point play, they don't normally make all 3 free throws. They usually miss 1.
Yeah, it's tough. Normally if they make the first 2, they'll make the 3rd one. But, you know, once you've got that, again, Pitts doesn't, he's not trying to really score the basketball. He's trying to get fouled down low, and it's not working. And they need to get it to somebody else. We're gonna have a
and
kick
it's
right
off
here.
the foot of Davis. Should be a kicked ball violation, and I believe it was. We're gonna look to pass it in. Looking, and he does pass it, but a wild pass,
Boy,
and
Padula,
finally
it wasn't very wild. It was just long, and Padula almost had enough time to get there.
And it'll stay with Dallas HSAA.
Boy, he's lucky. That ball nicked off the foot of number 5, Carson Veal. They definitely needed that one. They need the possession. They need to be able to score.
And here is a 3 that is too long, and that's number 22, Gavin Murray, coming down with the rebound. Here's Padula, driving past his defender. Gavin Padula. Oh my goodness, what a big collision.
Four players went on the floor. Padula gets up a little giddy on his left foot. But
I was trying to see whether they called a charge or a blocking foul. I believe it was just a block.
It was a block. Oh, way to get the inside position. But, you know, he was so strong to get that inside position, and then he played like a weak player going up for the shot. You got to just stay strong all the way through.
This is a 3 that is long and doesn't touch anything for number 22, Lathan Bastille. And here's Padula bringing it up the floor, down to Davis. Davis looking, passes it back to Padula. Padula, what moves? Now to Jude Hill. Jude Hill wants a screen, he doesn't get it. This is a very solid offensive team in HFC, and he tried to pass it off, but it was poked away. Great heads-up play by the HSAA player. This is number 24, Levi Balthop, and he'll give it off. Balthop, oh, nearly got wedged.
He had it. Batiste had it, just couldn't get it to drop. That's a good jumper. Pedrion Davis able to knock it down, and my goodness. Starting to get on a roll is HFC, and you better look out if you're Dallas.
So a full 1-minute timeout called here by HSAA, I believe.
Dallas has just got to keep playing good defense and score on the offensive end. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it really isn't. They've got a huge height disparity in this game that favors the HFC Warriors. They have not been able to utilize their speed, and their drives to the basket have been fruitless at best. I mean, you know, it's kind of like, you know, they had the opportunity but just couldn't score. I mean, right. They've had the chances but have just faltered when it's come to, you know, needing to have baskets. They have not been able to buy them today.
So back out on the floor, ready to resume play. Both teams. HSAA will have the ball. Number 44, Carson Toller, will inbound, and he'll give it off to Sam Frazier. Frazier, I feel like, has been sort of quiet tonight. He hasn't really done a whole lot. Now they're just going to pass the ball around, and I like this idea here. Try to get it slow. Get a shot to fall if you can. Great dribble moves here. Back to Frazier.
Frazier needs to get a drive.
Yeah, he really does. Great physical, tough defense, but an even better shot.
Look what happens whenever Pitts tries to get to the basket. It works. He's got to keep doing that, and it will continue to work.
Really D'ing up, and this is Padula scoring up a three. No good. Offensive rebound, though, to number 5, Carson Veal.
Dallas has to win this last minute and a half.
And great passing. This is Padula driving to the hoop. Tried to get a pass in.
Yeah, he was going to go up for the shot, but lost it halfway up, and in desperation just tried to tip it over to his teammate. Luckily, gets knocked out of bounds and will stay with HFC.
Padula thought about the three, doesn't take it. He'll drive inside, tried to spin around, finds his teammate. That was Joshua Fuller. They'll swing it back around. Here's Fuller again. 1 minute and 11 seconds to go. Fuller to Padula. I think Padula needs to drive inside here, use his speed. They're just being patient.
I think they're trying to hold for one final shot, shorten this third quarter, get to the fourth quarter with at least a 16-point lead. However, we've seen this backfire before.
And Padula spins away. Euro step.
Wow!
Blocked by Frazier.
Frazier!
What an athletic block by Sam Frazier.
Barely got it. I mean,
whoa!
I don't know how he was able to get it.
The putback by
Sentinel Moore.
But my goodness, the highlight of that drive was the block by Sam Frazier.
And he'll get blocked. Good job by Sam, just keeping going up the floor, and Frazier's got to keep that going.
Sam Frazier, in the last two possessions, have really been huge on the defensive side of the ball for HSAA. Looking to inbound it, and it was a bad pass. And here's Davis running up the floor. Davis gets whacked and fouled. He'll head to the line for 2.
Yeah, they undercut him on his way up. And that foul's going to go against Batiste.
Batiste, I believe that is his second, maybe his third. And here's Davis, his first.
He's been pretty good from the line today. Not going to connect on that one, but he's been pretty good.
It just seems like Davis is one of those players that he is going to be aggressive and try to get into the post as much as possible, try to get to the line as much as possible. As his second falls, he goes 1 for 2 on that trip.
They're up 19 now. Dallas was down by 11 coming into this quarter. They're down by 19 now.
Here's a long three off the rim and no good.
What a rebound.
That was a great rebound by Centennial Moore.
He's going to pull up on this one.
And here's Frazier. Got it! Oh my!
I tell you what, that play was all set up by Tadrian Davis. Taking that drive in. He knew how much time he had, kicked it out, and just enough for, who was it? It looked like Gavin Murray who buried it.
I said Frazier. I don't know what I was thinking. I think you're right. I believe it was Gavin Murray.
Well, my goodness, what
I couldn't
what a
tell
pass.
who it was.
That was a terrific. I mean, that play all set up by the pass.
Great buzzer beater. So that's twice I've done play-by-play today, and we've had a buzzer beater. The first one was the Houston-Memphis game. It was a buzzer beater layup at halftime off the fast break. We still got a lot of games to cover for you.
We got 4 more.
4 more
varsity action the rest of the night. And those are the big games. 2 girls gold ball showdown series games, as well as 2 boys varsity, and those will be gold ball games to get into the gold ball showdown series. So we still have a lot of fun still to come here on YouTube Live now. We switched over because Facebook was not really letting us get our money's worth out of them.
Mark
So we
Zuckerberg
switched over to YouTube.
doesn't like our software, I guess. I don't know. So getting ready. Inbounding this ball is number 4, Carson Veal. And he'll give it in to Frazier. I feel like Sam Frazier hasn't really done a whole lot so far in this game.
Yeah, he's been stopped a lot, and they really haven't given him many openings.
Oh, what a behind the back. Oh, that would have been sweet had Braden Pitts been able to finish that.
That's a beautiful pass.
A dagger. No. And that was Jude Hill.
Down by 22, not completely out of it, but they're going to need to play a virtually flawless fourth quarter.
Yes. And they'll kick it back out, drive back in.
Shot.
Floater, that's good. Beautiful teardrop floater by Braden Pitts. This is Josiah Fuller bringing it back up. Here's Davis.
Got Dallas Thunder and Illinois Crew coming up after this. That'll be the girls 18U goal ball
I don't know if that was a pass or a missed shot, but whatever it was, it worked.
Went right to him, beautiful tip.
Great tip in. This HFC team imposing their will on Dallas HSAA. 43-21 the score, 4:45 to play in the final quarter. This is number 24, Braden Pitts with the ball. And now it's Sam Frazier. Just passing the ball around, I like this. And a scramble for the basketball as it got poked loose. We will have a jump ball. It should go to HFC and does.
Yeah, HFC, again, pressure, defense, and it's working.
They are not giving an inch on the defensive side of the ball. Here's Josiah Fuller. Fuller's been pretty quiet tonight. We've said his name a few times. He'll drive in, looking, here's a 3, good!
Wow, that was long range.
Yeah.
And a beautiful shot by Levi Balthrop.
Balthrop, we've said his name a few times. Here's Frazier for the answer, no.
Yeah.
Balthrop, the rebound, it'll come out to Josiah Fuller. And Davis, and one!
Credit that to Fuller, what a pass.
Great pass. And then to Darion Davis, the finish.
I'll tell you what, it's been tough for Dallas in this game because the Warriors have so many guys that can handle the ball in the floor. I mean, you see Tadrian Davis, he'll get the finish on this one, but so how many times has it been him leading the break up the floor and him making a terrific pass?
And here we go, Sam Frazier to bring it up the floor for Dallas HSAA. Hammond Student Center is getting slightly fuller by the minutes as the high school games will start right after this. And a wild shot put up, no good. And Davis will come away with the rebound, and now he's on the fast break. Look out, there comes Darion Davis, but again it's Frazier.
Man, I tell you what, if we were to take away the score, you'd think Frazier was the player of the game right now. He's had a couple of terrific blocks and just a couple of great plays all around.
Sam Frazier out of nowhere.
I think that was an interesting call. I thought it was touched again by Sentinel Moore, who was standing out of bounds, but must have hit out of bounds before that.
Here we go. And oh, what a shot fake. Frazier was looking for his second block of the game.
Boy,
instead, Josiah Fuller made him look silly.
Frazier wanted to send that one to the moon. And the shot fake sent him to Mars.
Sprawling into the AHFC bench, trying to recover from that block, and we've got a 30-point HFC lead. Turbo clock should come into effect. And he loses the ball.
Oh, nice recovery by Pitts.
A great recovery by Pitts. He still has the ball. Looking for someone to throw it to. He finally gets it into Frazier. And Sam Frazier in between the legs. And thought about the 3. He should have taken that shot.
Well, when you're down 30 at this point, it's not time to just put up shots anymore. You're trying to play good offense.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like this HSAA team is a good offensive team. They just played a very good defense in HFC.
Sentinel Moore called for the foul. So that'll send Jalen Davis to the line. Davis has had a pretty good game today, not points-wise, but he's played a solid game. He's not a guy that they rely on a lot for offense. He's done his job today, and he should get the credit that he deserves.
Jalen Davis at the line for a second of 2. Turbo clock in effect because it is a 30-point lead for HFC.
Minutes. Good shot on that second free throw.
Great shot. He's got a good stroke.
Now, interesting rule to note, the clock, the mercy clock stays in effect until they get below 25-point lead. So that way it's not, you know, over 30, mercy clock, under 30. All right, now it stops. You got to get it under 25 for them to stop the mercy clock.
And here's Frazier bringing it up the floor. And they'll give it off to one of their offensive players, and it's blocked.
I tell you
wow.
what, Sentinel Moore has taken advantage of the extra playing time he's gotten today, and he showed off his skills.
Sentinel Moore is a very tall, very lengthy player. This is Levi Balthrop. He's looking for it. And a near steal by Frazier, but able to corral it was Josiah Fuller.
Frazier's played tough all day, and you know, you love to see the hustle from him.
Yeah. Even
right now, Warriors just trying to run down the clock and win and put this one in the books.
And I believe that's what they're going to do, as there is a foul called on Noah Kent. His teammates rush over to help him up.
And did stop the clock.
So the clock
Dallas
is stopped.
Dallas going to throw it, or Dallas, they just ran into a brick wall today, a team that they don't match up well against.
Yeah.
And I mean, talent-wise, they're about the same. Problem is, physical-wise, I mean,
the physicality.
They don't have players who are as big and strong as the Warriors do, and you know that's to their disadvantage. But credit the Warriors for taking advantage of that all day.
Well, and I mean the Warriors just to me seem like the more physical team. And when it came down to it, the team that was being aggressive and driving to the basket more was HFC. And I really think that if I had a player of the game to give, it'd be Tadarian Davis. I mean, he just really showed up to play today.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, he did a great job, whether he was leading the fast break or he was the one catching it on the fast break. You know, he played a great game no matter what his role was. And he took advantage of any mismatch opportunities. Nearly a lane violation. I don't know how he didn't step in there.
Yeah. And as you mentioned earlier, this is a volleyball court. So where the volleyball line meets, that's about where the free throw line meets for basketball. And a lot of people come to the volleyball line thinking it's the free throw line. But that's going to do it. HFC with a dominant win over Dallas HSAA. They are your gold ball champions for 14U. And that's our final 14U game of the day. Now on to the big stuff.
Yeah, we're getting ready for our gold ball presentation. Congratulations to the HFC Warriors for winning our 2019 Boys 14U Class 6 Gold Ball Championship. That'll do it for us. Varsity action coming up next right here on Facebook Live. Don't miss any of the action.